So when you think about like the way coffee goes, you start with espresso. People like, just basic, give me that coffee shot. I always say like, if a latte is the margarita, the espresso is the tequila.
When it comes to coffee, it's a passion.
I fell in love with the way coffee brings people together.
Brewing for a while. But Dorian Bolden's journey from banker to barista?
I'm leaving my job on Wall Street. I'm moving in with my girlfriend in North Carolina. I have no job. Yeah, it freaked everybody out.
Wasn't always an easy grind.
My father was in the hospital in Atlanta and flew down to see him. Didn't realize that was gonna be the last time I saw him. So, his unexpected passing just made me realize tomorrow's not guaranteed. And I wanted to be kind of in control of my own path. And that's what I think for me was the seed of entrepreneurship.
Dorian now using espresso to express himself, opening BU Cafe in downtown Durham, North Carolina in 2009.
What was the most challenging part about bringing this to fruition, this dream?
I guess if I had to pinpoint, the hardest part, of course, is the capital.
Minority depositories, also known as black-owned banks and credit unions, were born out of that struggle to find capital. After the end of slavery, Black Americans were largely shut out of American banks. So between 1865 and 1934, more Black-owned banks and credit unions surfaced across the country. The Greenwood section of Tulsa, Oklahoma would become home to what is known as Black Wall Street. But in 1921, it was burned to the ground by white supremacists in a violent race massacre. But Tulsa wasn't home to the only Black Wall Street. We traveled to historic downtown Durham, where Mechanic and Farmers Bank, the second oldest minority depository in the country, is still open today. So Jim, it's 1908. Paint the picture for Black Wall Street. What was it like here in Durham?
It was an unbelievable ecosystem. What's interesting is that people from all around the country, political leaders, governmental leaders, business leaders, wanted to see what was going on here in Durham on Black Wall Street.
I'm just doing an interview, but customers come first. So yeah, you get priority, you know what I mean? So you keep us going.
With Dorian expanding his business, adding 2 new locations at Raleigh-Durham Airport, he decided to work with M&F Bank to secure funding.
I recognize how we were not able to get funding the way I saw some of my white counterparts getting funding. Recognizing the importance of having support from a Black institution, it does matter.
According to a 2022 report by the Federal Reserve, Black-owned businesses were about half as likely as white-owned businesses to receive all or most of the financing they requested.
When a Black entrepreneur has access to capital, studies have shown that they actually outperform white businesses.
Bill Bynum is the CEO and one of the founding members of Hope Credit Union, a Black-owned depository in Mississippi.
If you look at where slaveholding was concentrated prior to the Civil War, and look at that map, and then look at a map today where you have the highest concentrations of payday lenders, of check cashers, the lowest education, health outcomes, the worst housing conditions, highest unemployment, and it's an eerie resemblance. You can't buy a house. You can't support your family using payday lenders and check cashers. You just don't have the financial tools that other people take for granted to help you climb the economic ladder.
And a major key to building wealth, home ownership, a dream Debbie Jones achieved in Pearl, Mississippi.
There is nothing better than owning your own home, relaxing, enjoying your family, having family outings, and all that good stuff.
Sounds like something that you've wanted for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
That was a dream of your mom's?
Dream of my mom's and mine.
But after multiple closed doors, Debbie says she began questioning if her dream would ever become a reality after she says she was denied a home loan from a well-known mortgage company.
But that particular loan company stated that they denied me because I didn't have the income. And I knew I had the income.
Debbie ended up going to Hope Credit Union. She says their institution used the same criteria as the first mortgage company she tried, yet she was instantly approved.
I didn't understand why I was denied. And with me working in the insurance industries, I've heard and I've seen a lot of things A lot of people have been disenfranchised or been denied certain things because of the color of your skin.
If your annual income in your household of $150,000 and you're black, you're more likely to be turned down for a mortgage loan than if you're white with a $30,000 to $40,000 income. So there are disparities, systemic discrimination in the financial system.
And while minority depositories are working to close the racial wealth gap, the recent bank failures of Silicon Valley, First Republic, and Signature Bank have raised concerns over the health of our nation's banking system. A new study suggests that almost 190 U.S. banks, including community and minority depositories, could face a similar fate if just half of their depositors took their money out.
Well, first, thank you so much for inviting me to be here today. It's such an important topic.
Nicole Elam is the president of the National Bankers Association, a trade group advocating for minority depositories.
Today, small banks have $291 billion less in deposits than they did in March at the start of the bank failures. And so while the deposit flight declined in terms of after the first couple of weeks after the bank failures, you saw a huge deposit flight. It then stabilized, but deposits is something these banks need.
We have not had a run on deposits, but we are having conversations with some of our depositors who are obviously nervous.
Most community banks like M&F Bank, we're safe, we're sound, and our business models are not risky. We're taking deposits locally and re-lending those deposits out to the communities that we serve.
But the challenges for minority depositories to build and sustain capital remain.
We are all too familiar with systemic racism and how it's impacted not just policies, but how it's impacted people's perceptions and people's psychology.
But there has been some relief. Congress is investing $12 billion into minority depositories through the Emergency Capital Investment Program. And just this month, the Economic Opportunity Coalition pulled together $1 billion in private sector funding. But experts say this is just a start.
One of the things that I would encourage the federal government to do, and even on the state and local level, is to make deposits in Black and minority banks. Black banks are safe. We can make our own deposits in those banks. So I think that that's something that they can do.
So in the same way a shot of espresso builds a cappuccino, Black-owned depositories build communities.
For us, when we say BU and our mantra is without community is just coffee, the fact that we have team members who started as a host and now they're, senior leaders in second houses they purchased, like having a salary, like being able to see people grow and develop and have a financial future, that's community.
It was a dream come true. It was wonderful. It's something, a legacy, something that I can leave my children. I'm just happy I was able to bring it to life with my kids and grandkids and my mom. Sadly, she only enjoyed the home for 5 months. I thought I was going to have my mom up until late 80s, I'm sorry, y'all. But I know she's my angel now. And she's watching over me.
I know she's really proud of you.
She is. I know she is. She's looking down on me.
There you go, man. You got a rhythm now.